Hello and welcome everybody to Riot Gaming's weekly news roundup, where we talk about whatever made the most noise in the last 7 days. My name is Alex and I'm your host. Today we will talk about Dr. Disrespect being permanently banned from Twitch, Crash Bandicoot 4 microtransaction misunderstanding, Amazon Studios' Crucible going back into beta, a new Cyberpunk style game called SYN, and Ubisoft's new Battle Royale game. First news this week are that Dr. Disrespect was permanently banned from Twitch and it is not clear why exactly. So, thing is that at first everybody thought it was something minor, and the doctor had already been in trouble many times before for various behaviors he exhibited that were not acceptable for Twitch, but this time everything seems much more serious. See, shortly after Dr. Disrespect was banned, Twitch started handing out refunds to people who were subscribed to him, and even refunding the emote packs, if I understand correctly. And now this caused people to go all out with various conspiracy theories as to why he was banned and is it now forever or not. Also, not having any clear answer from neither Twitch nor the doctor himself did not help the situation. There seems to be two prominent theories in this case. One is that the dear doctor was looking to jump ship and was in talks with some other streaming platform. Twitch found out this was in violation of some obscure paragraph in some contract they had, and he got permabanned. As to the platform he was in talks with, it is a matter of discussion on its own, since people speculate that Ninja and Shroud, now with a lot of cash from their Mixer contracts and a lot of freedom since Mixer is closing on the 22nd, are looking to open their own streaming platform, and Dr. Disrespect was in talks with them. The other theory, which has much less unconfirmed variables, is that Doc is involved in some serious criminal offense and Twitch banned him from their streaming platform as per their regulations. Next, we have the whole misunderstanding about microtransactions in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, which was announced last week. When people went out to pre-order the game after its announcement, they stumbled across this peculiar detail on the game's Microsoft Store page. There was a small plus sign next to the price and a line that said, "Offers in-app purchases." Instantly, many started talking about how Activision forces the developers to add microtransactions into the game, etc. But the developers of the game, Toys for Bob, went onto Twitter to clarify the situation, stating that there will be no microtransactions in the game. Also this week, Amazon Game Studios stated that they are taking their first major attempt at making a game, Crucible, back into beta. Now, the game has been fully released for a little over a month now, and people didn't really like it. The game is hard to define. It is something like a free-to-play team-based arena hero brawler MOBA thing that had low scores across the board, bad reviews, and a lot of negative feedback in general. So, the developers decided to take it back into beta and polish it. They said that everyone who downloaded the game before 9 AM PT Wednesday, July the 1st are included in the beta, and in the future the developers will open up the possibility to join the beta through sign-ups on their website. One other thing that caught people's attention this week is this new game from Tencent called SYN. For those who do not know, Tencent Holdings is this giant Chinese multinational conglomerate that has a stake in many different areas, including a lot of the gaming space as well, and in some companies like Riot Games and Epic Games. So when they greenlight a game project, you bet there is a lot of financial backup to it. And in the demo that we saw, the developers called it a PC and console open world FPS. So it is a first-person shooter with a cyberpunk aesthetic to it. What we know so far about the game is that it will have a deep vehicle and character customization, and that the player will be able to choose from 3 factions that determine the type of cybernetically enhanced pet animal you will have, which you can also customize. And another thing to stress, that at the end we were shown some HUD elements like a minimap, health and stamina bar, skill buttons with PlayStation controller button prompts, but in third person, which means they are either just unusable placeholders tacked onto the video, or the developers are not sure if they actually want to make it a FPS or a third-person game. And last but not least, Ubisoft announced their own free-to-play battle royale game called Hyperscape. Now, this is an interesting one because it brings a lot of new ideas into the mix, and all of them, by the way, seem to be focused on making the game as fast-paced as possible. So let us unpack it quickly. The game is first-person, cool. The first two modes confirmed are solo and squads battle royale, good. Up to 100 players will be dropping into a simulated city called Neo Arcadia in drop pods, which seem to be customizable like the gliders from Fortnite. Smart. You start with only a melee weapon as per usual and have to loot whatever you find. You can carry up to 2 weapons and 2 hacks. Now these hacks are like abilities that give you different advantages in fights, and there seems to be a ton of them. All are colorful and influence mobility a lot. In fact, mobility is the name of the game here, since many of the abilities and jump pads in the environment allow you to reach the rooftops of the city and create fast-paced combat scenarios with ways to escape and ways to ambush. Instead of some sort of storm or ring, the simulation around the players will be deteriorating. Of course, the players will be, as usually, receiving damage if out of the safe zone, but they will be also very exposed to player fire, because as the world deteriorates around you, the surroundings will start to sort of lose their textures and become black. And the player will be the only colorful object on the black backdrop. Death is also handled in an original way here. When you are killed but part of your squad remains in play, you become a specter, an invisible character that retains their mobility, allowing you to follow your teammates and scout areas for them. When your team kills a player, a portal will appear. You enter the portal and wait for your team to resurrect you. When it comes to the only remaining sector on the map, the game can end in one of two ways. First way, as usual, kill the remaining players and be the last one standing. Second way is find the crown that spawns in that last sector, or kill the one who found it first and hold onto it for a set amount of time. When the timer runs out, the wearer of the crown and their squad will be the winners. The game itself will be releasing sometime soon. We don't know exactly when yet. And that is it for this week. If you liked this episode, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. This was Alex, see you next time.